Yo, what's up everyone? My name's Dave and you suck at programming, and today we're going to be talking about Bash. Of course, we always do. We're going to talk specifically about looping in Bash and when you can use the continue and the break keywords, because in Bash, this is really cool. Some other languages have this too. You can give them an optional argument. The argument is a number and it's how many levels you want to break out or continue, which is really cool. I wasn't aware of this. One of my viewers shows me, I don't remember who, so apologies for forgetting who you were, but you were awesome. Thank you. Shout outs for showing me this. We have a bunch of stuff going on here, so let's look at our first simple example. This is just nested for loop, basic nested for loop in Bash. We're going to loop over 0 through 2 inclusively. We're going to loop over A through C inclusively, and we're going to print them. So we're basically just making a combination of the two. So when we run this, we get 9 outputs, 0 ABC, 1 ABC, 2 ABC. Very simple, no trickery going on here. Let's look at the first example. If I is equal to 1, and if j is equal to b, so the halfway point for both of these, then we will continue, otherwise we'll print it. So if you know what the continue keyword does, it says go back to the top of the loop and start processing the next element. So if we run this, all we should do is skip 1b. And that's what happens here. We get 3 here, we get 3 here, but we only get 2 here. We've skipped 1b because we very explicitly called it out. Let's look at our next example. It's the exact same logic. We have 1 and b here, but we're calling break instead of continue. If you know break doesn't go to the top of the loop, it breaks out of the loop, so it goes all the way below it. So what should happen here is once we get to 1b, we don't print it, and we actually stop processing all the ones completely. So, like I said, we have 3 up here, 3 here, and we have 1a. We don't have 1b, and we don't have 1c. We've stopped completely. So a lot of setup here. Let's talk about continue n. So same thing, we're looking at 1b, but we're going to continue 2. So we're not going to go up to the top of this loop. We're going to go to the top of this loop. That's functionally the same as breaking 1 level, so the output should look very similar to the command before it. And it does. We have 3 up here, 3 here, but we only have 1 here. What about when we break n? This one's really cool. We're going to break out of 2 levels. So instead of breaking out of this loop, we're going to break out of this loop too when we hit 1b. So let's go ahead and run that. And what do we get? We completely stop processing once we hit 1b. These are very contrived examples, I know, but you've ever been in a situation where you're like nested very deeply, you're in like 3 or 4 loops and you got to break out of a couple of them. Probably refactor it and put it into functions. I'm just being honest, but sometimes it's useful to have this kind of logic and to have this trick up your sleeve. The last example I have here is a function. This is what I like to do. I would never have a function that was like nested like this, but regardless, the point of this is that once you're in a function, you get access to the third keyword. You had continue, you had break. Now you have return. Return is a very nice keyword to just break out of the function. So if you can break these nested loops into smaller loops, put them into their own functions, then we have the return keyword so we can simulate a break and a continue. So this is how to effectively accomplish what I showed you before, but still, it's cool to have those tricks up your sleeve. It's cool to know that break and continue take an optional n argument, and you can see that in their help messages because these are both built into the shell. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully you learned something. Yo, and thank you for watching, everyone. Want to give a quick shout out to my patrons over at Patreon. Thank you, Bubsky, Hawk, Nameless Beard, Wild True Coffee, Chase, Jeffrey, Balram, Fractal, Gustavo, Nick. Thank you, Vorno. Thank you, Arex. Thank you, David, Luke, Adam, Greg, Ron, Alex, Hayden. Like I said, I don't know if I can keep reading all these names. That's 19 so far. We'll see if I can keep going with this, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. You can head over to my Patreon if you want to support the channel, get your name right off the end of one of these videos. And yeah, thank you so much. Have a good one.